gameplay.
What is this even? Like, can we go back to the markets?
Around the U.S.
I haven't even seen. He didn't even really call his chat racist. He's just like, well, maybe you don't like it because all the characters are black. Which maybe that's true. And I said that about Johnny Somali. I'm like, look, I get it if you don't like, you know, the guy's black. I understand. But then I said 2 out of the last 5 South Korean presidents were convicted of crimes and sent to jail. Another committed suicide before they could face trial. Their latest president, Yoon Suk Yeol, was impeached on April 4th and is currently in jail awaiting trial. So technically 3 out of the last 5 if you want to count him, but I didn't. Grok did, but I didn't. I was like, well, he's in jail awaiting trial. So he's probably going to jail, though. Also, if you don't know, Park Chung-hee was basically a dictator of South Korea for, I don't know, like 16 years or something. Let's see. Yeah, about 16 years. And this was from 63 to 79. He was murdered by the equivalent of the head of the CIA. Personally, by the head, the head of their Central Intelligence Agency personally murdered him in 1979. I mean, like the actual head of the agency killed him. So I left that part out too. And somebody reminded me of that in the comments. He said, imagine JFK getting killed by Alan Dulles personally. So South Korea is not this great place, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This model of democracy and, you know, some place we should just absolutely worship. And it's like, anyway. And then I continued. It's a failed puppet state of the U.S. They face an unprecedented demographic crisis, true, and will be overrun by the DPRK, which is North Korea, within 30 years. Probably true. That's a prediction. But no sane American is going to support dying for Korea again, especially when it's in this shape. The women don't fuck the men hate the women. I think their birth rate is like 0.6 or 0.7, which is like catastrophically low. It ain't 0.7 in North Korea. I can tell you that. And they spend all their money. They don't spend it much on food or like benefits to the population, but they spend a ton of money on military weaponry. That's what North Korea spends almost their entire budget on. And nuclear missiles. So it's not, we can't even nuke them because they'll start firing off nukes. So we would have to have a conventional war with North Korea and their psychopaths, and we'll just absolutely read about wave attacks and all that shit. Like China is also their ally, so South Korea is in bad shape, I guess is what I'm getting at. No one, and now they have a new charge on him for sexually harassing children. He went to this like children's park or whatever, or like it wasn't a park. It's like I don't know, some place, you know, they used to have these things. I guess they still have them some places where, you know, you take your kids and they have all these games for kids to play, like laser tag and, you know, arcade stuff. And he went there and I guess some people sent in some weird songs or whatever. And he got kicked out. Well, they charged him with sexually harassing children, which, I mean, he wasn't doing, in my opinion. I guess some of the songs were racy or some shit. I don't know. But he clearly wasn't trying to pick up any children. He didn't touch any children, as far as I could see. Like, he was being a nuisance. That's true. He was being a nuisance. He was being a prick. That's kind of what, like, he does. That's his character. That's what he does on stream. He goes on stream, pisses people off, and gets paid for it. It's just IP2 shit. So anyway, they added a new charge to him for sexually harassing children. It's like the South Koreans hate this guy. And then I said, no one thinks he was actually sexually harassing children or trying to pick one up. Some people send in some dumb music, apparently, just to port him back to the U.S. and ban him from South Korea for life. Having a U.S. passport is supposed to mean something abroad. Provincials who have never traveled or lived abroad, along with Asian fetishists, do not understand this concept. I know it's popular to hate on Johnny Somali. People legit want to see him in prison for what amounts to mostly IP2 IRL streaming pranks. It's absurd. I realize he is black. I realize he's annoying. That's the bit. He's playing a character. It would be very easy, extremely easy, actually. Go ahead.
Clouded Trigger sent $2 on Rumble. South Korea is a very Negrofied country.
Yes! It would be very easy, and thank you, for me to jump on the bandwagon for easy money. I refuse. I'm refusing to do so. It would be super easy, and it's not just because he came on my show. Because plenty of people who have come on this show, I've trashed afterwards. So it's not just because of that reason. It's because this is insane. And yes, the U.S. passport is supposed to mean something. Now, if he goes over there and kills somebody or, you know, drunkenly gets in a wreck and kills somebody or rapes somebody or does some shit like that, yes, punish him, put him in South Korean jail. I mean, that's how it goes. But, like, for petty shit like this, just deport him, ban him from South Korea. If he absolutely has to go to jail, okay, a couple weeks, whatever, month. You know, I wouldn't even whine about that. They're talking about years in prison for this guy. Now, I get it if you hate Johnny Somali. Arab Andy all over again. Exactly. TTS caused an innocent person to catch a charge in jail time. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not even necessarily calling Johnny Somali like completely innocent, right? But like, dude, it's IRL streamer. I also feel like, you know, I've done some crazy IRL streams too. So like there's a little bit of like, I should be defending this guy, honestly. And, you know, it's also about, I live abroad as well. And yeah, I want my U.S. passport to mean something, and it does. And, you know, letting this fucking puppet state that's basically a failed state, if it wasn't for its economy, is pretty good, I guess, but it's not a democratic place by any stretch. And letting them, and yes, I know he's black, and if you hate black people and you just want to see him suffer, that's fine. But there's literally no other reason to support this. Now, if you support it for that reason, all right, fine. I'll give you that. That's okay. I understand that. But I'm not going to do that.
Here's something, they're not really tariff impacted directly, and you get the value.
And I've had some people just flat out say that. And I'm like, all right, I get that.
Deals at this point and get the leverage they need.
Well, it
okay, I
depends a little
understand
bit on
that.
the financing market, and we're seeing some moves in fixed income.
You just
as well
don't like
as
black
equities,
people.
and so I
You
think
want to see them suffer. Okay, well, all right. You're respectable, you know, to admit that, right? Like, all right, fine.
consumer-facing tech names, it's going to be,
okay.
Is there a shift from consumption to savings?
There's still to come. The CEO of Kava is with us on how they are navigating tariffs and a cautious consumer right now. The stock is down 30% so far this year.
And take a look at the market right now. Again, we've
Dixie Respecter sent $1 on Rumble.
Thank you.
I don't like black people. Crown.
Exactly. Right. See, I respect that. It's like, okay. Like, if you just don't like black people and you just want to see them in pain, like, okay, all right, I get that. But, you know, I'm making a broader argument about, you know, living abroad and the U.S. passport is supposed to mean something, and it's supposed to be the most important passport in the world. Roman citizens back in the day, if you were a citizen of Rome, that meant something around the world, right? It's supposed to be like that. And when it's denigrated, it's bad for all American citizens. Now, if you never leave America, that's why I said provincials. I was being derogatory towards those types. Maybe I shouldn't have been. But if you never leave America, I mean, I guess you don't care, right? And they do make it a bitch to get a passport. It's like not the easiest thing in the world to do. You know, in Mexico, you can just go and get a passport in like literally the same day. It's crazy. But have to make an appointment, but you literally can do it the same day. So, but I mean, I guess if you never leave America, that's another reason not to care. But you should still care, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, and again, I know it's super duper easy to jump on the, hey, Johnny Somali bandwagon. I probably should, but I'm not going to. So, and we'll see. I still don't think they're going to put him in prison for 10 years, whatever the fuck they're talking about, honestly. But it just seems to me like, I mean, he does have some, somewhat serious charges over there. But it seems to me like, cross-eyed mindset and a few others are kind of like hyping this shit up. And he's probably going to end up getting a month or two or whatever and a do not return status in South Korea, if I had to guess. But we'll see.
Money manager Ken.
I could be wrong.
Thank you for watching this clip. This is Perspicacity. Remember to like and subscribe.